This week on Battle of the Ports, we are taking a look at Virgin's version of Aladdin, which started life on the Mega Drive. Released in November 1993, this was the world's first animated game done in the same style of traditional animation, known as Digicel. Disney's Aladdin for the Mega Drive is considered to be a milestone for video game graphics. With the exception of unreleased games such as Dino Blaze, no other Mega Drive games utilized Digicel technology. However, Aladdin did inspire many similar methods, such as those applied in Shiny Entertainment's Earthworm Jim. Other games published by Virgin, such as Cool Spot and Global Gladiators, share Aladdin's focus on animation, whereas many games such as Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure are considered to be inspired by Aladdin's efforts. For those who didn't know, Aladdin was developed by Virgin Games, but headed by Dave Perry, the same guy behind Earthworm Jim amongst others. So yeah, Aladdin is sometimes one of those where the hell do I go type of games. We're taking a look at the Japanese version here, which is meant to be the improved version, however I disagree. You see, this version has that typical Western platform game trait of having the character too far to the right of the screen, making it difficult to judge oncoming issues. It also has the annoying yo-yo effect of screen scrolling, where it snaps back and forth. The so-called Western release doesn't feature these issues. The first part we're going to take a look at is for the Amiga, and man, are those Amiga fanboys going to be all over the comment section of this video. If you read the Wikipedia for this game, it says the Amiga and DOS versions were based on the Mega Drive version but feature enhanced music, sound effects and an updated HUD. Well yes, the HUD is different, but this Amiga version's enhanced music isn't better at all. Yes, there is vocal version of the title theme, but in-game it's pretty lackluster. Audio channels are always cutting off every time a sound effect plays, and the actual instruments don't sound very nice. But that's the last of this game's issues. You see, Aladdin is a 3-button game, and the Amiga only has 2 at most, although most people will be playing with 1 button. We are given a few options for controls, but none are ideal. You can either assign the second button to jump or throw an apple, but in that case, up is now jump. For the poor buggers stuck with a 1-button controller, you've got to use up as jump, and if you want to throw an apple, you must press the space on the keyboard to toggle between apple or sword. But it gets worse. The game is slow and very unresponsive. The frame rate is less than half of what the Mega Drive original ran at too. Sorry Amiga fans, but you can't say this is a port in the same league as the original. Let's hope the DOS version is better. MS-DOS time, and yeah, it is better than the Amiga. It does share the same cut down playing area, but besides that, it's vastly superior in almost every way. The audio is beefed up considerably without channels cutting out all of the time. The game plays really well, and you are able to map the controls to any type of controller, so it's entirely possible to use the same setup as the Mega Drive. Sadly, the game really suffers from screen tearing. I tried so many different settings, but no matter what, it was either slow down city or screen tearing hell. Still, if you can deal with the screen tearing, the DOS version is a very nice port. Mega Drive Aladdin also made its way onto the original Game Boy thanks to NMS software. They've done a pretty reasonable job here. Yeah, the game is much slower and you do need to toggle between the sword and apple via the select button, but overall it isn't too bad. I'm surprised at the amount of animation this port contains. Quite impressive for the Game Boy. Unfortunately, this port is missing a few elements and stages, such as the Inside the Lamp and Abu's bonus levels. The music is all wrong too. Next up is the Game Boy Colour port, which was developed by Crawfish Software. In some ways this version is more impressive than the original Game Boy port simply because it more closely follows the Mega Drive version, but in others it is not. The animation, while nice, is lower than the Game Boy version and it does seem a little clunky in areas. Still, this is just nitpicking. Overall, this is a nice attempt. NMS are back with another port, but this time an official NES port, and what a sack of crap it is. Basically they piss ported the Game Boy version to the NES with zero effort at all. The game is very slow and terribly unresponsive. You can't even slash your sword while jumping. The collision detection is really bad, and I do mean really bad. Not only does the game play terrible, but it also looks terrible. Sprite flicker, awful colours and graphics that blend into each other. Truly a poor port, and remember that this was an official release. In Taiwan, there are two unofficial ports of the Mega Drive version of Aladdin for the Famicom. Let's take a look at them, starting with this version called Super Aladdin from Super Game. As you can see, it follows the Mega Drive original very well. In fact, surprisingly well. It plays reasonably too. I mean, not anywhere near as well as it should be, but better than most knockoff games from Taiwan. Sometimes the gravity on Aladdin can be very strange, and at other times he may not know how to climb up a rope. This isn't such an issue though, as you can normally figure it out. All the secret areas are missing in this port, but that's okay, because it is unofficial and yet still a million times better than the crap NMS brought to the NES. Which, for those who don't know, is a Famicom placed inside a shoebox. And this is the second unofficial port of the Mega Drive version of Aladdin to the Famicom, and it's really bad. Arse backwards controls that just don't work. I tell you, you've never played a platformer with worse controls than this shit. They just don't work at all. They are that bad, the developer has even given us a stage select from the very beginning. They knew there was no way anyone would be finishing a stage in this game. And finally we have Aladdin 2000, another unofficial hack from DVS Electronics for the Super Famicom. This, as you can expect, is pretty awful, although in stills it looks pretty nice. The game is completely rushed, or the developers just didn't care. Controls almost never work right, they're laggy, slow and janky. Besides the control issues, the game is missing levels and gameplay mechanics. For example, collecting apples is a waste of time because you can't throw them. The stage checkpoints don't work since you go straight back to the beginning of a stage when you die, and there are no bonus stages. There are many other issues too, but hey, at least the music is ripped straight from the official Capcom Super Famicom Aladdin game. And let's take a look at all those versions of Aladdin running side by side.